center of the field again. They'll have the coin toss. And they'll do it all over again. It's just a matter of which end zone they're going to play in. The one to our right or the one to our left.
This has to be an exhausting game for the players, especially Bethune-Cookman players. I mean, they haven't had the 3 weeks off like FAMU has. So.
No, they haven't.
Keep your 25-yard line. Bethune-Cookman, you're the visitor. This is the coin. This is the head. This is the tail. I'm going to ask you your choice. I want it loud and clear so the umpire can hear it. I'm going to flip and catch. If I drop it, I'll flip it again. What's your choice? Tail is your choice. It is a tail of one toss. You want to go on your set. Florida, you will be an offense for which position if you want to play. Florida will be an offense first out.
So Bethune-Cookman won the toss, but they elected to go on defense first because, and that's not bad strategy, because if the team scores a field goal, you score a touchdown. If they score a touchdown, you know you have to score a touchdown.
Right.
If they don't score anything, all you need is a field goal. So, the odds are 2-1 in your favor in that type of scenario. So FAMU chose to go to the end zone, and both teams will play at the same end zone to our left. They will not go way down the other end of the field after they change possession.
Right, and that's the better end zone. I mean, you have the big scoreboard. You can see the plays. A good readout as far as what's happening in the game. And so I kind of figured they would take that end zone.
There have been a couple changes. As we get ready for the overtime, we talk about as far as some of the people and their duties in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. David Thomas resigned as athletic director at Morgan State. North Carolina A&T relieved Charles Davis of his duties as athletic director. Johnson C. Smith fired Tim Harkness and his staff. Livingstone's George Johnson has resigned, and there's a very good source that tells me that Willie Jeffries has been interviewed for the athletic director's job at Grambling State University.
Wow.
So that's the end of that. At the 25, we're in overtime. Ben Montgomery's a former NFL referee. Ben Doherty.
All those names in your head, Charles.
Yes, indeed. And he loses a yard. Back to the 26.
And Cookman, they're continuing where they left off in the second half. Third and fourth quarter, they've just been bringing tremendous pressure on Ben Doherty. And now they're bringing an extra guy to block, which is a good idea by FAMU.
Here they come. He gets it away, has it complete. And out of bounds, shy of the first down, is Rod Miller. He's about 9 yards or 8 yards on the catch. It'll be 3rd and 2. Rod Miller, his 3rd reception of the day.
Now keep in mind that FAMU has the new kicker, number 49, Wesley Taylor, who's been pretty decent today because Paul Johnson quit during the middle of the week. So if it comes down to a field goal kick between FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, that can be a real big factor.
Now Florida A&M just called a timeout. They get a timeout each period of this overtime. And of course Doherty has had a lot of pressure on him, the pressure he didn't have early, and Pete Adrian finally found the right buttons to push for his defense.
Yeah, the button has been just to blitz everybody and play tight coverage on the outside. There you see they get him for a sack, and what you can't see is the coverage downfield. There's no one to throw it to. He takes off running, and that was just a great play from behind by Kirk Blaine chasing him down. And then Saunders had the tight pass rush move, and that was 3 sacks in a row on that end of the game possession when they were trying to score and win the ball game in regulation.
You know, there's talk about, of course, a lot of the alumni hasn't been happy with what's happened here at FAMU as far as Billy Joe's future is concerned. And, you know, nobody is being committal as far as what happens. You know, win today will go a long way into solidifying the fact that he'll be back as their head coach. The other thing you've got to remember, he has a couple of years still remaining on his contract, and with FAMU not in the best financial straits, you know, they'll afford to pay off a coach that has 2 years remaining on his contract.
Well, in my opinion, Billy Joe is a great coach. I mean, Win, lose, or draw, I think he should be back at FAMU next year. He was competing against Division I teams, so you really can't hold them accountable for the record this year. And the 1AA teams that they did play, they were very successful against. The big thing that the FAMU Rattlers are upset against, if they lose this game, it'll be 3 in a row to the Wildcats.
Right. Here's Sharp trying to get to the first down marker. I don't think he got there. He's about a yard or half a yard shy. That was a 3rd and 2. He got maybe 1.5. It'll bring up a 4th.
This is a tough decision, real tough decision, because you have an inexperienced kicker, but on the other hand, you know Bethune-Cookman has Jesus Cortez, who's very accomplished.
Well, they're going for it.
Yeah, you have to, because
the thing they're thinking is, well, if they don't make it, we'll go on defense, and we want to keep the drive alive, but if not, we'll go on defense and see if we can do something.
Yeah, I would go for it too at this point. With the kicker that you have no choice really.
Doherty, the quarterback, he keeps it, gets it. First down, Florida A&M. Play clock was running out on him also.
I would expect Coach Wide to come back with the pressure on Doherty once again. There's no sense letting this guy sit in the pocket.
Well, we don't know if he's going to throw it. They may decide to keep it on the ground. Like you said, if that blitz is coming, if you get past that first wave of the defenses,
you're
6 points. Yeah, you're in the end zone.
But they haven't been getting past that first wave lately.
No, they haven't. So down to the 15 from the shotgun. Doherty works, rolling left, throws into the corner. What a great catch!
Out of
bounds. Kaiser came up with the catch, but he didn't have a foot down when he made contact with the football, and it was Nick Collins covering. Watch.
That's a great matchup. Nick Collins covering Kaiser. Kaiser had a couple good catches this game. Just stretched out a little bit too far. Couldn't get that knee down.
Foot never touched down. If he could have just drug the foot, little tap, little toe tap.
Well, that's that guy, that big white stripe. Once again, he doesn't miss.
That little toe tap.
But Collins is showing his versatility. Nick Collins playing safety in the beginning of the game. Now he's going to corner.
I'll tell you,
great job.
The post is open. That's interference. No flag.
Woo.
Didn't you think so?
It was close.
Well, I guess the officials said we're not going to decide this game.
Hey, just let them play. Just let them play. 52 points apiece. Just let them play. He was open early. He's running the seam route. The quarterback looked outside first, and he saw him late.
See, that's face guarding. See, the defender is not playing the ball. He never even saw the ball. What do you think?
That's a very good point, Charlie. He got his head back around at the last second, so maybe that's what the referee is looking at, but I would let him play. I'm not going to throw a ticky-tack foul. I'm going to let him go at it.
3rd down. 3rd and 10.
Oh, there's a flag.
And there's a flag, and we got a reception. And the reception is to
close to the first down.
To Rod Miller. Well, it's a 15-yarder. So if you decline it, you get better yards than accepting it. Or it'll be half the distance, probably. Let's see. It's still an automatic first down. That's what you want, is the first down, regardless of anything else.
Right.
You want the downs.
So if you get the first down on the catch, I think you take it on the catch at the 4-yard line. If not, then you take the penalty.
Defense, number 23. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
So what they did was they decided to take the play rather than a half the distance because it puts them closer to the goal line. And now I believe, no, I thought it was a timeout. Bethune substituting on the defensive side of the football.
Like FAMU was going with the big backfield. They line up in that T formation, 3 guys across.
1st and goal at the 5.
Let's see if Bethune can hold right here. Play clock. Oh!
Mix up in the backfield. The quarterback still on his feet. And he gets it down to the 2-yard line. That was a mix-up, and he still made something out of nothing.
Well, you had the running back trying to call timeout because he saw the play clock going to 0. Quarterback realizing you only get 1 timeout in overtime, so he continues to play, turns around, and the running back is looking back at the referee. See if you can see the guy 32 is still trying to call timeout.
Right. That's sharp.
So at that point, you just take off running.
That's right.
Try to save yourself.
And save the team. You don't want a penalty for calling the timeout you didn't have. It is 2nd and goal at the 3. They'll make it the 2. Sharp has it. Sharp stopped by number 1. Fumble. Ball's on the ground. Bethune has it. The same man that got the penalty called on him comes up with the football. That's Kyle Herbert. He has a kickoff return, 95 yards for a touchdown. And now he comes up with a big, was it 22 or 23? Let's see. Number 1 made the hit. That was Bobby Williams.
And Bobby Williams, the freshman who didn't come into the game until late.
22.
He's made a couple of real good plays.
Ben Ballard comes up with it.
So now the replay.
Bethune gets the ball at the 25.
Now keep in mind, Bobby Williams, 6 feet 190, freshman from Miami, Florida. He literally just gave his body up. He just blew up everything. Coaches say when you're blitzing from the outside like that, don't stop until you break glass. And he just went up there, took out the blocker, knocked the ball out of Sharp's hand, and that's the hugest play of the game right now. Because all Bethune-Cookman has to do is, of course, just score any way possible, kick a field goal, and they have a real good kicker. So,
yeah, I mean, this is like the NFL, you know. Let's get down there, kick a field goal, and let's go home.
Go home. Exactly.
And we're all tied at 52. We're in the first overtime. Bethune's first possession of the overtime. They've never won 3 straight games in this series. They're trying to break that mold today. Here's the quarterback, Russell.
2 hands on the ball.
Jimmy Russell down inside the 20 to about the 16, 17, where it'll be 2nd down and 2.
Now, not looking to next year too fast, but they'll have Jimmy Russell and Gerard Rucker and a couple other quarterbacks coming back next year with Bethune-Cookman. But Jimmy Russell has really stepped up and had a great game today. Not even starting, coming in the 2nd quarter. He's completed a ton of passes, touchdowns. He ran the option perfectly. He's done everything well. And so, where does he figure in next year's game?
Here's the option back to the right side for the first down. And that's all they were trying to do is get that first down. And there's a young man who scored a pair of touchdowns already today, Xavier Butler, on that option. And they're right in the position they want to be. That is the Wildcats of Bethune, trying to go to 6-4 with a win today, 5-3 in conference play. Well, this is not a conference game, but they would be 6-4 overall. FAMU would drop to 3-7. The worst record for Billy Joe since coming to Bethune. But he had the toughest schedule in the nation, Division I AA. Jimmy Russell brought down with a loss back across the 15 to the 16.
Right here, you don't want a turnover, of course, but you don't want any negative plays. You want to make this field goal as short as possible. They actually lost a couple yards on that play. So if in doubt, just give it to the big fullback and get a couple of positive yards, just inch closer to that field goal attempt.
Billy Joe 7-3 against Bethune. Lost the first meeting that he faced him in 1994. Straight ahead. Touchdown. Oh, game's over. Rodney Johnson. He finally got into the end zone.
He deserved it because he's been very busy. That's 3 wins in a row by Bethune-Cookman, the first time ever in this long matchup. And they've won 3 in a row.
Johnson with the 15-yard run puts Bethune out front with the winning touchdown. 58-52. Remember, they were down by 17 points at one time at the half, 38-21. They outscored FAMU in the second half, 31-14. Tie the score, and then they outscore them in the overtime. They win it 58-52 for the third straight year in this Florida Classic. Bethune-Cookman comes from 17 points down, ties it up, sends it in overtime, and wins it in the first overtime period, 58-52.
HBCUX's The Vault will take you into our archives to recapture some of Black college football's long-standing rivalries and their surprising finishes.
Clock still running. Third down. 11.
Pressure once again.
Sacked. Fourth down.
We go to overtime, Charlie.
You'll also relive some of the greatest moments to Black college football.
Jerry All-World Rice. There he is, number 88.
HBCUX's The Vault. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.